Greetings and God's peace. I'd like to share with you from the gospel for today, the 30th of January. There's a story, the continuation of the story from last week. Last week we heard of Jesus coming into the temple of his hometown, and he opens up the scroll and he reads from the prophet Isaiah and then says, "Today this scripture is fulfilled in your hearing." And then after he closes the scroll, they all spoke well of him and were amazed at the gracious words that came from his mouth. They said, "Is not this Joseph's son? We know this guy." He said to them, "Doubtless you will quote to me this proverb, 'Doctor, cure yourself.' And you will say, 'Do here also in your hometown the things we heard you did in Capernaum.'" And then he challenges them of saying that your prophet is not without honor except in his own town. And they get really upset with him and they threaten to throw him off a cliff, and he walks away. One of the first times where he's rejected, foretelling what will happen. And the important thing about this rejection, though, is these are the people that ended up following him, that became the early church. This is their memory of what they did. They didn't get it at first. And they had this memory of how they first received the message of Jesus. We all have memories in our life that we look back on and say, wow, I did not get that. I did not understand fully what was going on. There are so many things in my life I can look back on and understandings that now I cringe when I think about it. The various racist attitudes or misogynistic understandings I grew up with and just assumed. Class understandings, things that I've said and done that I was not meaning to do harm or insult, but really were not very thoughtful. Sometimes it was just out of my ignorance, and sometimes it was out of just not doing what I needed to do. We all have our memories, things that we regret, that we look back on. And the Gospels and the Scriptures in the Old Testament story today from Jeremiah where God says, "I knew you in your mother's womb." There is a reality of life that knows all that happens, all of the stories of this world. Everything somehow is recorded, understood, layered. The house I live in has the stories of all those who have lived in it before me. The town, and the people who've been part of this town, this church, people who sat in the pews. There's layer upon layer of stories here. You go in the Middle East and you have towns and villages that go back thousands and thousands of years, the stories, the layers of stories that go on in every place. None of these are forgotten. They're somehow carried into the soil, the genes, the understanding, the collective unconscious. All is remembered. What we do with our families, what we do in our relationships, how we relate with each other, the small moments, how we engage with each other. This is what's important. How we relate, how we care for these relationships, whether it be with the family, community, friends, the nature around us, the trees around my house, the animals with whom I live, the planet upon which we live. These moments, whether it be out shoveling the snow, they're all somehow held and understood in a larger understanding of a consciousness that carries all things. We call it God. We call it the presence of the Almighty. But in doing so, we understand that there is something larger than ourselves. I look at people when they're very old, and sometimes, or people who are in the midst of losing their memory, but what they do remember is the old memories. That's the last to go. There are deep, deep memories in our lives. There are deep, deep memories in our land. There are deep, deep memories, some of whom these memories need to be healed and resolved and gone back to. But all of these are held in the healing grace of God's presence. When we are just holding them in our regret, we don't let God bring the healing of the memory into our present being. We need to go back in those memories and those regrets and those things to bring them back and see them in light of how God is holding them. The regrets of these people that rejected Jesus at first but then followed him, God sees this as a great example of how all of us so often reject that which is a truth before us, before we accept it. And it's nothing new. But it's a process of slowly letting go. It's not bad, it's not good, it's how we do things. And in seeing others do it, it helps others to do it as well, and let go and accept the truth that is before us. It is not something to regret. It's something to learn from, to be healed, to be transformed in an understanding of a larger way. God's grace is before us. God's truth is before us. The love of God, the memories that have been layered upon this earth, layer upon layer, like the layers of rock and soil. They're all precious, carrying a story, our stories. When we allow them to be in relationship with God and ourselves, they are transformed into jewels, precious, holy, and sacred. Blessings to you and all of your stories, all those whom you love. May this be a blessed day for you. Amen.